You're listening to Marketing Tips with Meliss podcast.
Welcome to Marketing Tips with Meliss podcast. And now your host, Meliss Jakubovic.
Hey, everybody. Today's podcast is called How Do I Know What to Offer as a Freebie and How Much Should I Charge? And the reason why this one is so important is because I get asked this all the time, and I've recently seen so many people asking about this in the group. So I thought, hey, if that many people are having problems about it, we've got to talk about it. So a lot of times people come to me with this big idea of what their signature offer is, but they don't know what to do as the gateway from getting someone from a cold audience to a warm audience. That's a stranger into somebody who knows who you are or what you have to offer and knows that you can solve their problems. And the thing with this is that every single thing that you create needs to, number one, be in line with what you're offering. And number two, needs to serve the target market that is your best ideal client. And if those two things are in line, then you're on the right track. So basically what I'm asking of you is to work backwards. You need to start with your signature offering, whether it's your big course or maybe it's the one-on-one work that you do with clients, whatever that big signature offer is, that is the end goal. And then you need to take bite-sized pieces out of that and use them as a way to drop seeds and trickle little breadcrumbs all the way up towards your big signature offer. So you'll be able to offer something for free or deeply discounted on the front end. Now, for service providers, I recommend that you do have a freebie. It's called a lead magnet. And a lead magnet is something that you give away for free in exchange for lead information, like a name or an email address, or sometimes it's a phone number. Depending on your industry, it could be even more information than that. So you want to make sure that what you're offering is valuable enough that someone is willing to give you their name and email address in exchange for that piece of information. A lot of times people come to me and they're fearful to do this because they say, listen, Meliss, I have all this great content that I charge a lot of money for. Why do I want to give it away for free? And the answer is that if you're able to give amazing content away for free on the front end, then someone is going to download that information or watch that video series or whatever that freebie is and realize that they've learned so much from you in such a little amount of time, and that it didn't cost them anything and you solved their problem, that they're going to be so intrigued and excited to see what it is you can offer in your paid offerings. They're thinking to themselves, if I learned all this stuff for free, I can't imagine what her paid offerings would be filled of. And then they're going to want more and more from you. So basically, when you're creating this freebie, I want you to think about your signature offer is the how to do something, and your freebie is the why you do something. So a good example would be my Finding Your Dream Customer Guide, which is one of my very first freebies that I ever created, and I still offer it to beginners. So in this guide, I help you map out who your ideal target market is, and I recommend that all business owners do this every quarter in their business because that does change. So when you're first starting out in your business or you're first starting out with online marketing, step one is figuring out who your target market is. And you can download that at melissmarketing.com/dream. Now, someone who comes to that site and wants to download that freebie, the Finding Your Dream Customer Guide, they're going to fill it out, and it's all about the why. What we're doing as far as mapping out that target market, who it is, what their interests are, and all of that. Now, the next step of that would be to figure out where they are going to be hiding. So we know who they are. We've mapped out the target market in my freebie, but in my upsell tripwire, I'm showing you how you can find these people on Facebook and where you go inside of the Business Manager to find these people on Facebook. So the free part is the why, and the how you do it is what we charge for. And it's only, I think, $7. So it doesn't have to be thousands and thousands of dollars. Remember, you're converting someone from a cold audience to a warm audience. You're not going directly from cold to hot. There's a process there, and that's the point of a sales funnel. The sales funnels are your landing pages that help build that relationship on automation. You're building that rapport over time. You're allowing them to trust you and digest your content and realize that you are the person that can help solve their problems. And that is a slow process. Sometimes, it could be 2 weeks. Sometimes it could be as easy as 5 days, depending on what you're giving away for free. Sometimes it can be months. So there's no real cookie cutter strategy in this. It really depends on what your marketing strategy is, what your goals are, who your target market is, how they like to digest their content, how busy they are. There's a lot of information, a lot of factors that go into this. So I don't want you to take this information from this podcast and go, oh, I need to have a quick PDF and a $7 tripwire, because that may or may not be true for you. But just realize that the free part is the why, and the part that you charge for is the how. So that's how you know what you need to be offering. You're going to offer a small piece of that big signature offer. So my signature offer, we have done with you and done for you services for your online marketing, including sales funnels, Facebook ads, lead magnet creation, and your content creation and strategy. And we do all of that for our higher end clients. So as a freebie, I need to take just a little piece of that. And like I said, the first step before we can do any of that is defining that target market. So that is my freebie, because it's a little piece of that. So don't get caught up on, oh, I'm giving away all this information. That's the point. You want to give away all the information. You want to give away a lot of content, a lot of information, so that you can build up that trust. Now I want to talk a little bit about the actual creation of your lead magnet. Now there's many different types of content that you can use as your lead magnet. It can be a content upgrade from a blog. It can be a PDF in ebook. It can be a video series. It can be a challenge. It could be a webinar in some cases. So there's a lot that you can offer, but there's certain things that you need to have in order to make it valuable enough for someone to want to put in their email address. And the first thing is that it needs to be extremely specific. This is the secret key to a converting lead magnet. So it needs to offer a very specific solution to one very specific problem for your very specific target market. It has to have one big promise, and you need to be able to solve that problem quickly within the lead magnet. You don't want to solve all of the problems. So my Finding Your Dream Customer Guide solves the problems of helping my client define who their dream customer is. It doesn't solve the problem on how to run Facebook ads. It doesn't solve the problem on mapping out your content strategy. I do help people with that, but this one lead magnet only helps with that one specific problem and has that one big promise. Also, you need to just survey the market and see if it's something that they really want. It might be something that you really want to create, but it might not be what your audience needs. So if you want it to be a converting lead magnet, you have to flip that thinking, and you need to go out and create what the audience actually wants. Also, it needs to offer instant gratification, so you can deliver that solution quickly and they can get that end result right away. We're not talking about a 30-day challenge here where they're not going to get a result for 30 days. You could obviously do that, but not as your freebie. Your freebie has to be quick. These are cold market strangers who don't know you yet. So think about this. Are you going to spend 30 days devoted to a challenge and really put in all the effort to someone that you don't know? Probably not. But if it's someone you don't know online and they're like, hey, download this free resource, you'll be like, oh, awesome, cool. Or watch this 3-part video series. I can give 3 days to someone I don't know, but I'm not going to give 30 days. So you want to make sure that it's easily digestible. So again, if you're doing an ebook, maybe 25 pages or something like that, but you're not going to say, hey, here's a 500-page book, read it. Who has time to read that? Because you want someone to get that solution to their problem before they move on to the next step in your sales funnel. And if you're going to tell someone who's a busy entrepreneur, for example, or a busy mom, read this 500-page book before I take you any further in my funnel, they're never going to get there. Also, it needs to showcase your expertise. You need to be the go-to expert. And this lead magnet is like a window into your business. So you want the prospect to pre-frame you as the one that they can come back to for further help down the road. So make sure that you really showcase your expertise. Also, you want to make sure that it has a high perceived value. your freebie doesn't mean that it's low quality. You want to make sure that it's actually the opposite, very high quality. It's top-notch information, and you want to use professional photos, and you want to make it aesthetically pleasing. It needs to have high perceived value in order for people to be so intrigued that they want to go to the next level with you. And it's not only perceived value, it also needs to have high actual value. So does your lead magnet actually deliver what it says it does? And if you miss the mark on this one, you'll have an unengaged audience that unsubscribes far too often. So you really want to make sure that there's actual value in there. Now, the last part of what I want to talk to you about today in the podcast is the pricing. People are always asking me, how much should I charge for my freebie? And there's no one size fits all answer. But what I can tell you is that a basic sales funnel has about 5 levels to it. Very basic, okay? So your first level is going to be your freebie. That means it's free. Then the second level is going to be some sort of upgrade, some sort of upsell, and you want this to be $47 or less. So $7, $9, $17, $25, something like that is good. So basically, this step is going to build off of the first step. Your next step is going to be something that they can move into the next level a little bit on their own, and it's going to have more commitment and it's going to require more time. So the price is going to be a little bit higher. And I'd say this can be in like the 200 something range, okay? Then level 4, that could be basically anything in the $1,000 range. And level 5, your signature offering could go up from there, and it can be whatever price you need it to be, $2,000 or more. Now, it really depends what your funnel is before you decide these things. So when it comes to finding out how much you should charge for your freebie, the answer is easy. It's free, right? Just to get that lead information when you're converting someone from cold to warm. But that whole process of moving someone from warm to hot will require more time commitment on their part and on your part. It will require a higher fee for them to get those services from you. They'll have to put some money in order to get the help that you offer. So I want you to map out this entire funnel before you go pricing things and going crazy. And I know it's exciting to come up with packages and ideas and price things, but really all you need if you're building your list is that freebie. And on the thank you page, if you want, you can offer something at a very small price point, which will help offset the cost of your Facebook ads if you're running Facebook ads. Everything beyond that, level 3, 4, 5, or if you're going to do upsells and cross sells and downsells and all these different things to make your funnel more robust, hold off on those until you are ready. You can still launch your funnel with only the first and second steps. That way you're building lists, you are building rapport, and you can be emailing your email list frequently, and then when you are ready to launch something, you will have spent all the time creating what you plan to launch, and it'll be a thought out plan with a nice funnel that has been mapped out strategically before you offer it to your audience. But at least you'll have this freebie to build your list, because without a list of engaged audience members, you don't really have a pool of people that you can have purchase your things and from you, and you want them to be engaged with you by the time you're ready to launch. So how do I know what to offer as a freebie and how much should I charge? Hopefully this helped answer all of that. Of course, if you have more questions, you can shoot us over an email at Meliss, Meliss at melissmarketing.com, and I'll see you soon.
Oh, wait, before you go, if you think you'd like to work with the Meliss marketing team one-on-one, I invite you to apply for your first class strategy call. This process is just as much an interview for us, seeing if you're a great fit for our agency, as it is for you, seeing if we are your great fit. Unlike other agencies, we only take on clients we know we can help. So if you think you're ready to get support with your content creation, lead magnets, sales funnels, and/or Facebook ads, let our agency help you take your business to the next level. Each month, we open up just a few spaces on our client roster for your opportunity to be able to work with our amazing team. Apply now at go.melissmarketing.com/apply, and we look forward to speaking with you soon.